Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this 30 days masterclass series on electric vehicle design. Today is day 10, our topic DC motor control using MATLAB Simulink. I welcome you everyone here. Yes, I welcome Gautam, Sharath, Harshan, welcome Kiran, yes, Prashant Kumar, Amrit, Sharkar, welcome Pankaj, warm welcome participants. Akshay Kumar, I need to convert this internship. Kindly help. So please WhatsApp to this number, and also you can find the internship registration link in this live chat as well as that video description box. You can enroll it now. And yes, a warm welcome participants. Sham, Safi, Deepak, Sanjeev, yes, Tushar, Karthik. Very good evening everyone here. Mohammed, Praveen, Niveta. Yes, welcome Shurab. Yes, Ganesh, Vikrant, Jaideep. Yes, welcome participants, warm welcome. And about the Pantech, Pantech is a educational equipments manufacturing company for EEE, ECE, IoT, robotics, AI related products. You can get it. And about the vision, we to help 10 million students to learn the technology in easy way. So far, we have trained about 1.5 lakh students. So this year we have targeted 10 million students. And you have an announcement, batch 2 is going to start. I mean, no, it's started from today onwards. You can use this coupon code. So earlier coupon code, instead of earlier one, then you can use this one. And attendance form will be provided at 7:30 p.m. in this live chat. So please don't forget to submit your attendance form, because 25 days attendance is required to get a free webinar participation certificate. And so far we have covered 9 classes, and from today onwards we are going to discuss about the motor. So today is the DC motor, and for next 4 days we have scheduled a few more motors also, because actually these motors are important for the EV applications. The DC motor, BLDC motor, and then AC induction motor, and PMSM motor, and switch electrons motor. So these 5 motors we have scheduled in our topic. So actually, if you are being any department, if you know what is the working principle of these motors, and how you can develop the control algorithm for in the MATLAB, as well as actually whenever if you develop a control algorithm in the MATLAB, so almost a similar concept only you are going to develop in the hardware. So if you know these details very well, then definitely you can get a complete idea about the motor control systems. So in the entire EV system, so this 5 motors is only going to use. So if you take any applications like drone applications or EV applications or any more rotating part applications, so this 5 motors only it's going to use. So please keep engaged with this entire next 5 days class to get more about those things. And so I welcome you for the DC motor control for EV application session. So in this session we are going to discuss in detail about basics of the DC motor, and working principle of the DC motor, and what all the types are available, and how we can understand the speed control, and finally we can see the MATLAB demonstrations. Are you ready to learn this concept? Please comment in the comment box. Ready? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your reply. Yes. So now let us discuss about the DC motor. So the DC motor generally it's available in various formats, like from the basic small size to bigger size. See here in this motors. See here there are lot of types of motors are available actually in the DC motor alone, and for small toys car applications as well as that bigger size I mean EV traction motors also, EV traction applications. So based on the application the motor size has been varied, but still like vibration motors or small toy car motors, the DC motor is perfect choice for those applications. So here you should know what is the type of applications. Actually, in this as per the type of applications, so like you can identify whether constant speed applications or variable speed applications. Can you tell me EV is comes under which type of applications? EV comes under the various speed applications. Whereas for the constant speed applications, can you tell me any one example for constant speed applications? So for the constant speed applications, is like a lift, and then a hoist motors, and and any other like lathe machines. So these are all the constant speed applications, right? So now let us take the working principle. So in this in the DC motor, so there will be a two major part. One is called stator and another one is called rotor. So the stator will be a permanent magnet, and then rotor will have a coil. So whenever you are applying voltage to the coil, see, whenever you are applying voltage, whenever you are applying voltage to the coil, that is a plus and minus. So via this brush and then slip ring, via this brush and slip ring, this voltage will be applied to the coil, right? Suppose if you are applying voltage to the coil, suppose if you take this is the plus terminal and then this is the minus terminal. See here, the north and south will get reflect each other. So in that case, that this coil plane will get moved to the other side. So like that, when the coil plane moves other side, then automatically the brush will connect to the negative side, negative voltage. So in that time, so this will be the negative and then this will be the positive. So in that case, again the north pole will reflect, and the coil will get reflected from this towards this direction. So like that, the entire rotation is comes. And see here, this is the basic formula to understand the magnetic force as well as the torque. Right, see here the magnetic force is equal to BIL. So here the magnetic B is nothing but the magnetic flux density, current is I nothing but the current, and L nothing but the length of the conductor. So if you want to vary the magnetic force, then you have to vary whether you have to increase the length of the conductor, or else you have to vary the current. So this is the basic principle of speed control mechanisms. So now let us check how to control the how the motor is working. See here, if you apply voltage here, so like a positive and the negative. So due to the reflection principle, the rotor will get reflected each with respect to the stator coils, that is called stator magnets, right? So this is a stator magnet. So based on this principle, the DC motor is going to run. And types of the motor. So this is the type of the motors: DC, separately excited, series motor, shunt motor, compound motor, and then permanent magnet DC motor. So these motors will have a high power motors, and then PMDC motor will be a low power motor. And how we can implement the speed control mechanism. So there are three different type of speed control mechanism. One is called flux control. So in the flux control, so you have to keep a voltage for the constant in the armature side. The field in the field winding, you are going to vary the voltage by implementing the variable rheostat. So this is the variable rheostat, and whenever you are changing the field current, then the speed of the motor is going to vary, right? Similarly for the armature rheostat, so the same instead of field, if you keep the rheostat in the armature side, then you can get the armature rheostat method. And similarly for the both the method are needs a variable rheostat. But here if you vary the voltage, if you are applying if you are changing the applied voltage from 0 to maximum, then we can get the variable output voltage. At the same time, if you vary the current, then you can vary the speed current, DC motor torque also. Yes. Dear participants, my humble request, don't spam the chat. So others are peacefully attending the class. So if don't spam the chat. So if you are keep on spamming the chat, then we will we will put your timeout share mode. So please follow the community rules. And see here, others are waiting, others are listening the class, so don't spam the chat. Thanks for understanding. Yes. So now let us understand the speed control, how we can implement the speed control. See here, if you take any DC motor, so we need a 4 MOSFETs, right? So if you again you can keep a single device to vary the speed from 0 to maximum speed or rated speed, but it's a single quadrant. So whereas for the DC motor in our EV applications, we need a 4 quadrant operations. So in that case, we need a 4 MOSFETs as per the SCR or TRIAC. SCR or TRIAC, similar switches we are going to use it here, either IGBT or MOSFET. So based on the power level, you can use the devices. You can choose the device. So in this applications, we are going to choose 4 MOSFETs: switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. So these are the 4 MOSFETs which are going to use for these applications. So now the motor is in standstill position. Suppose if you apply a PWM for the switch 1 and 2, 4, so in that case the motor will rotate in this direction, or else let us take anti-clockwise directions. So direction is if you want if you want to run the motor at this direction, you have to enable the motor, you have to enable the switches S1 and then SW4. Similarly, if you want to change the direction, then you have to enable SW2 and then SW3. So how you can control the speed? See here, the pulse width is going to adjust. So the on time, if you vary the on time of the pulse, then we can get a variable output voltage at the terminal, motor terminal side. So if you vary this, if you are applying this kind of voltage to the motor, then we can vary the motor speed. So how you can generate this kind of pulses? By using the pulse generator in the MATLAB, you can vary the you can generate a pulse width modulation. Similarly, in the real-time applications, you have to use any one microcontroller to generate a variable pulse width modulations. And this is the reverse direction. So for the for the clockwise direction, you have to enable switch 2 and then switch 3. So like that, if you generate a PWM, then we can vary the motor direction, as well as that we can vary the speed also. So this is as per the theoretical concept. And if you take a real-time motor control, so there are generalized block diagram for any motor control. See here, let us take this one. This is the motor, like a DC motor or induction motor or BLDC motor. First, you should develop a microcontroller. So here you have to choose any one microcontroller. If you want to run a motor in the open loop applications, you can use any basic microcontrollers like Arduino or 8051 or anything. If you want to run the motor in the closed loop application, then you have to choose higher order, high power microcontrollers like a 32-bit or 16-bit microcontroller. And in that one, like microchip based DSPs or ARM processors or DSP, Texas Instruments based DSPs or FPGA processors. So these processors only going to give you closed loop control mechanisms. So first you have to identify the microcontroller, and after that power devices. So once if you connected the power devices, then you have to sense the parameters. So what are all the parameters needs to sense? One is the current of the motor. Similarly, motor speed and then positions. Suppose majority parameter of major parameter of this for the DC motor is armature current as well as that motor speed. So these two parameters enough to regulate to implement a closed loop application. And for the measuring the speed sensors, there are a few methods are there, like a tacho generator, magnetic pickup, optical disc, rotary encoders, and then Hall effect sensors. So these sensors are going to use in the real-time applications. Similarly, for the current measurement purpose, shunt resistance method, Hall effect method, and then current that is CT, current transformer method. So these three out of three one, you can use it any one of this method. And for the power devices, drive nothing but it's a combination of circuit with the help of MOSFETs or IGBTs. Right? For the inverter applications, generally we will choose either two of these devices, any one of these two devices. And similarly for the in the microcontroller section, you can use a microprocessor or microcontroller or ARM processor or DSP processor, as well as that FPGA processor also. FPGA processor also. Yeah. So FPGA. Right, similar kind of processor you have to choose. So from you have to develop application code from the computer via the USB or Ethernet. You can download the application code to the microcontroller. So this microcontroller will sense the application code, and based on the application code, it will generate a pulse width modulation. So this is the generalized block diagram for the motor control applications. So instead of DC motor, if you keep three-phase, induction motor, so in that case you are going to keep a three-phase inverter with three outputs. So for the BLDC and PMSM and SRM, so like that. So this is generalized speed control mechanism for any motors. So just keep in your mind, based on the motor type, you have to choose the PWM generation logic. So now. So let us move to the MATLAB demonstration. So here first let us develop the motor and motor starting method, and then we can implement the motor control methods. Are you ready to learn this MATLAB demonstration? So please comment in the comment box. Are you ready to learn this motor control mechanisms in the MATLAB? So please comment in the comment box ready. Yes, thank you participants. By changing voltage, speed changes. By changing current, torque changes. Yes, exactly, Mr. Sanchit. So this is again, if you discuss further details, then it's called vector control mechanism. That is the biggest advantages in the electric vehicle, electrical motors. Whereas in the IC engines, both the parameter like speed and torque are the dependent variable. So when you increase the speed, the torque will get reduced. Whereas in the electrical motor, so you can manage the both, and you can control this both the parameters with it two different inputs like voltage as well as the current. So by changing the PWM, we can increase the current as well as that we can control the voltage of the motor, voltage for the motor. Yeah, thank you. MATLAB not installed, Mr. Ajay. So please try to install the MATLAB so that at least you can follow the next 20 slides, 20 classes. Yeah, thank you participants. Yeah, so now I'm going to open the MATLAB. So just open the Simulink, create a new block. Just to save the simulation first. So day 10, experiment 1. So now open the library browser. So go to Simscape and electrical and specialized power systems. See here found fundamental blocks. See here the machines block will be here. So just to take a DC machine. First to take a DC machine. So just to take a DC machine, see here in this DC machine, there are few terminals are available. One is called A plus, A minus, nothing but the armature plus and minus. Similarly, field plus and minus, and then TL nothing but you can apply a load to the motor, right? Similarly, the M nothing but the measurement port. So to measure the motor parameter, then you have to take a bus selector component. Yeah, bus selector component, just connect to the M terminal, then you can get a block. So just open the bus selector and then remove by default signals and select whatever you want signals. So just to take speed. So this 3 signals is enough to generate to measure the motor parameters. And now we have to choose the type of the motor, like a rating of the motor. See here, so just to open the preset model, see here 5 HP 240 voltage 1750 RPM and then field voltage. So like that you have to choose one. So whatever you have you can use this one. And then the mechanical input for the motor is, that is which nothing, it's nothing but you are going to drive a you are going to apply a load to this motor. So that's it. And take a DC voltage source. To take a DC voltage source. So DC VDC for armature. And similarly for the field. So this is for field. VDC for the field. See here the armature is 240 voltage, just apply 240 voltage, and then for the field you have to apply 300 voltage because its a nameplate details is 300 voltage. So now we have to connect. Yeah. So now we have connected and take a scope block. Take a scope block and apply here. So 3 waveform we are going to analyze it. So to run the motor in the RPM, so you have to add gain block. See, by default the speed will be radian per second. If you want to convert to the RPM, so 30 by pi. So this is the radian per second to RPM conversion. And now we have to include the power guide block. See here power guide block, so it's a 3 different simulation type. One is a continuous and then discrete. So let us take a discrete to get a fixed fixed sample time. And TL nothing but the load input for the motor. So just to take a constant block to apply a Newton meter. So how much torque you need, so you can apply as a load to the motor. So just to take a constant block, and here you can vary the value from 0 to maximum full load torque. Just remove it, constant. Yes. So now I am going to apply 1 Newton meter. So let us observe what is the speed responses of the DC motor. Yeah, now let us wait for the simulation running. Yeah, so the simulation is closed. See here the load is very limited. So by default you have to change the scope settings. Yeah, so now we can see 3 different graph. So this is the first one is the radian motor speed in RPM, and second one is that armature current, and third one is the electrical torque, electromagnetic torque. So now see here now which means that the motor is not loaded, right? So that's why the motor speed is shows that 2000 above 2000 RPM. See here by default the full load speed is 1750 RPM. So now we have to calculate the full load torque. So what is the full load torque? So what is the full load torque? See here P is equal to T into omega, right? So now the P nothing but our motor power rating is P is equal to 5 HP into 746. So this is the P value, and T is nothing but the full load torque. So now we have to verify the omega. So omega is equal to 2 star pi star N, that is 1750 divided by 60. So this is the omega value, right? So now the T is equal to P by omega. So this is the full load torque. So like this you have to calculate the full load torque. So now you can apply a 20.35 value. So just take it 20, you can apply 20 Newton meter. So like that it will give you the output. So 20 Newton meter. Yeah. See here, electrical torque has generated to 20 Newton meter, and then speed is reached to the no, full load speed 1750 RPM. So this is the method to start the DC motor. So now we have to implement the DC motor speed control mechanisms. So to implement the speed control mechanism, so what we have to do? So we have to implement a speed control mechanism. So for that one, you can have a single quadr single quadrant chopper and then four quadrant chopper. So to how you can vary the single quadrant? So just take a MOSFET. So just to take a MOSFET and disable this show measurement port and take a armature volt supply terminal and connect in between the MOSFET. It between the source and then load. You just connect the MOSFET. Now we can achieve. We can implement. We can control this switch via the pulse generator. So take a pulse generator block. So just take pulse generator block and then get the period. So it should be less than that value. So generally it will be a kilohertz range, like 1 kilohertz or 2 kilohertz or 5 kilohertz. So let us take 1 kilohertz. So the period is 1000 hertz or 1 kilohertz, and pulse width is now it is in the 5 percentage. So let us take a 99 percentage. So in that case the entire voltage is applied to the maximum. So in that case, yeah, see here. So this is very simplest logic to implement the speed control mechanisms. So now let us try to run the simulation. See here, if you take a single quadrant chopper, you have to add additional circuits also. But for concept understanding purpose, I kept a single switch only. But here by default, we have to connect a inductor and then filter capacitor and as well as the diode block also. So now we have applied 90%. See here, the same voltage has been applied. So now if you change the pulse width from 99 percentage to, let us take 20 percentage. See here, the graph is like a 1750 RPM. So full load, fully rated speed we have achieved. Whereas if you change the voltage here, by reducing the duty cycle. So earlier it was a 99. So now I have applied 20 percentage. So let us check what happening. See here, the speed approached to the zero because the fully loaded conditions. So now see here. So just increase up to minimum worst case. In the worst case, like just to keep it 70 percentage. So by changing the pulse width modulation, then we can vary the voltage. Yeah, see actually for low motor is fully loaded, so that's why it shows that. So let us reduce the load. Yeah. See here, as per the speed, as per the pulse width, it shows some value. Similarly, if you change the duty cycle, then we can vary the output DC motor control, right? So this is the basic mechanism to control the speed of the DC motor, right? Is it clear? If you have any questions, you please ask me. If you have any questions, you please ask me. Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. If you have any questions, you please ask me. If torque is about 20 Newton meter, in that case, you have to apply a sufficient voltage to handle that one. Thank you, Nishant. Can you explain how IGBT changes the pulse width modulation in PWM? See, actually, in the IGBT is a typical switch. Whenever the pulse is available, the MOSFET will get IGBT will get connected. If the pulse is zero, then the IGBT will get disconnected. See here, let us take this example. See, this is simple circuit. See here, if you take this one, just to take this graph. So now we are applying the DC voltage. So in between, if we are applying a PWM pulses, if you are applying a PWM pulses here, see here, whenever you are applying the PWM pulses, see during this period the MOSFET will get connected. See here we have connected like this only. So this connected. See here the motor has connected. During this period this switch is connected here. If during this off time the switch is opened, so in that case we will get a similar kind of voltage. So not a pure DC, it will be a pulsating DC. So in that case, if on time is high, then the motor voltage will be high. Off time is high, then the motor voltage will be very less. So whenever you change the voltage in from 0 to maximum, then the speed will be directly proportional to the applied terminal voltage. So like that we can change the motor control mechanisms. Yes. Yes, we are going to launch IoT webinar, 30 days webinar from September 15th. That is a different instructor. So I'm not going to take IoT. So for IoT, we have a separate team. Which type of DC motor? So this is a, shunt motor. You can connect whatever you want. Is apply for every way electric vehicles? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now let us move to the next example. See here we have so this is a single quadrant chopper. Similarly, we can go up for the 4 quadrant chopper also. So in that case, just change this one. So just to change this one, just to remove the terminal connections. Just remove the connections and rotate the devices. See, instead of single MOSFET, we have to keep a 4 MOSFET. So this is M1. So let us take SW1 and SW2, and similarly take SW3 and 4. So now just to connect MOSFET here. Just to connect MOSFET here. Yeah. See here we are going to connect the armature plus terminal and then armature minus terminal. Yeah. So now we have to apply a pulse width modulations for these 4 MOSFETs. So just to take a pulse generator block. See here, this is the basic pulse generator block 1 divided by 1000. So this is the period, and then pulse width we can keep it, and so just to connect the S1 and just to take a go to function. So this is the common pulse for the SW1 and 2. Right. So take a from block SW, same block SW1 and 2. So just to rotate the block. So this is the same pulses. Now we have to apply for SW1 and 4. Right. So just to take another model and then connect here. And similarly, now we are going to take a NOT gate. See here, just to take a NOT gate. Yeah. And this is the pulse for 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So just to take a scope block, from block 3 and 4. See here, if in this portion, if pulse width is more than 50 percentage, more than 75 percentage, the motor will be in the forward directions. If it is less than 25 percentage, then the motor will be in the reverse direction. So let us check. Let us keep it 75 percentage, and let us analyze the graph. Let us analyze the graph. So just to run the simulation. Yeah, see here, we have applied 75 percentage. So due to that one, the motor speed is in the forward direction. Similarly, if you change the pulse width from 75 to 25 percentage, so the same parameter, then we can get a motor in the reverse directions. Yes. So similarly, we can vary the reverse direction. So this is the very simplest method to achieve a I mean 4 quadrant operations, right? See, if this is very generalized method, but in the real time applications, so we have to take a two block. One is called a triangular waveform. See here, the triangular waveform, just to take a repeating sequence, and let us take the sine triangular waveform from 0 to 1, right? 0, 0.5 and then 1, and then frequency divided by 1000, 1 kilohertz, and then value 0, 1, 0. So now we can get a triangular waveform, and if you compare this triangular waveform with a constant value or DC voltage, then we can get a same kind of PWM in the real time, because actually by default pulse generator model will not be available in the real time. So for that one, we have to take a triangular, we have to generate a triangular functions as well as the control waveform. So by changing the control waveform, then we can get a controlled output voltage. So take a for controlled output voltage, take a constant block. Constant block. So now let us take a relational operator. So now we are going to compare this one. So whenever the triangular waveform is higher than this one, then the output will be high. So in that case, this is the switch 1. So this is the switch 1, and so the inverted voltage is the switch 2. Alright, so just inverted voltage is the switch 2. So just to take a NOT gate, connect here. So this is switch 2. This is switch 2, and this is switch 1. Yes. Similarly, again you can take the same graph. So let us change the logic. Same one. And this is the PWM for the next phase. That is at SW3 as well as the SW4. Inverted one. SW3 and SW4. So like that, this is another logic. Actually, I have developed this. I am using this logic. So if you are whichever your logic is comfortable for you, you can develop your own logic. So there is no any condition to follow the same logic and all. So only thing we have to apply a alternative power pulse width modulation for the same limb switches. And now we have generated this one. So now if you change this value instead of 0.9, then it will give you one. The motor will rotate in the one direction. Similarly, and the other direction also. So this is S3 and this is S4. Yes. So this is again real-time equivalent logic which is developed. So from this we have to generate a forward motoring, reverse motoring, and then braking mechanism also. So do you have any idea about the braking mechanisms? How we can implement the braking mechanisms? See here the reverse direction speed is applied. So now if you change to the 0.02, so in that case the motor will be rotated on the forward directions. Alright. So like this, once if the speed is settled, then after that there is no any deviations. So now we have to apply a braking mechanism. So how we can generate a braking mechanism? See in this circuit, whatever either directions like forward directions or reverse directions, we have to remove the top switch pulse, and then we have to enable the bottom switch pulse. So in that case, we can generate a braking mechanisms. So for that one, I'm going to use another logic. So anyhow, this is the pulse width modulations. This is the controlled pulse width modulation. So I'm going to use the switch case for braking mechanisms. So let us take this one. So let us take this one, and see here we have used 4 MOSFETs. Okay, so this is 4 MOSFETs we have used, and now if you change the pulse width modulation for these two MOSFETs, so see here PWM and then PWM, same PWM. If you apply, then the motor will be in the forward direction. Similarly for this one, so this is the pulse and then this is the pulse, then the motor will be in the reverse direction. So by changing the duty cycle, then we can get a variable voltages. Similarly, how we can implement the braking mechanism? So if you take this forward direction, in this one you have to remove the PWM, then at the same time you have to enable this one. So the same PWM may apply here, but here you have to enable the pulses. So either you can apply a constant pulse at the same time for the bottom switches, then we can apply a brake. So this braking mechanism is common for both the forward direction as well as the reverse directions. In the regenerative braking, the similar kind of logic we have to use. So we have to we need an additional circuit. So this from the motor terminal, like armature terminal A plus and then A minus. So the additional circuit needs to be connected. So this circuit will generate a will capture the voltage and then will store it in the super capacitor or ultra capacitor. So and after that again we have to put on the circuit and then stored in the battery. Right. So this circuit will be like this one. This is one MOSFET and another MOSFET, inductor, and then filter component and additional circuit. So this is called regenerative braking circuit. So this circuit needs to be applied. See here, this is also regenerative braking, but we are dissipating the generated voltage within the loop itself. So in that case, the speed will be straight away it's reached. If for example, if it is a forward direction, if you are enabling these two two switches, so in that case, the speed drastically will reach. The speed will reach to the 0 position. So let us check this logic how we can implement in this one in the MATLAB Simulink. So just to take the same one. Now I'm going to use the switch case. So take switch SWTCH switch case. See, actually the switch case nothing but whenever the logic meets. See here. So this is the logic input. So the threshold value, if there is a greater than 0, there is a greater than 0. So which means that okay, if you apply threshold value 0 here, see if the value is above 0, in that case this our input will be connected to the output port. Suppose if the input the control signal is less than 0, in that case this input will be connected to the output port. Right? Is it clear? Is it clear? What is the switch case? How the switch case is working? How the switch case is working? See here there are the three different input 1 and then input 2 and then this is output. Okay, output input 1 and then input 2. So this is the control signal, right? So this control signal by default whatever you are going to mention here. So we have scheduled the 0 value. If the control signal is 0 or less than 0, then the output is connected to the input 2 is connected to the output. If the control signal is higher than this one, like if it is a 1, in that case the input 1 will be connected to the output port. So this is the very simplest logic of switch case. So we are going to use the switch case to generate a controlled signals. So take this one. So remove the gate pulses. Yes. So just connect the switches. Suppose if you want to get a motoring option. So motoring option. So the input, all the input will be the higher one. Switch 1 and then switch 2 and this is the switch 3 and then switch 4. So here this input we have connected. So this input we have connected. Okay, so this is the PWM input. So now you have an option. Suppose if you want to apply a motoring conditions, so motoring conditions you can apply 1, right? So in that case what it will happen, the input 1 will be connected to the output. If you are applying a 0 value here, then the input 2 will be connected to the output side, right? So this is the logic which we are going to use in this example. Right, so now take a constant block. So now just to take a constant block, and so now we are going to connect all these port 0 control signal model. So just to connect control signal model. So this is the control signal. So now see, if you apply 1 here, then what will happen, this input will be directly connected to the output. If you apply 0, what it will happen, this second input will be connected to the output, right? So the second input, how we can configure the second input. So when you can achieve the speed braking mechanism, so whenever you apply, how you can achieve a braking mechanism, see here in this circuit, so we have to remove the PWM here, and then we have to apply a PWM. So switch 2 and switch 4 needs to be connected high, and then at the same time switch 1 and 3 needs to be connected low. So just to take 1, so this by default it will be 1, and take a NOT gate. So by default switch 2 and 4 needs to be high, and switch 1 and then 3 needs to be 0, right? So this is the control logic to generate a 4 quadrant operations. So now as per our existing conditions, the speed is in the forward directions. So let us take a infinite loop, infinite, just to take a infinite INF, so that the keep on the simulation will get turned on. The logic is now the entire simulation is in the motoring conditions. If you apply a motor, so we have to take apply 1, and for brake we have to apply 0 here. So this two logic we are going to use it in this block, and this is generalized one, right? And this is the forward motoring as well as the reverse motoring. If the value is less than greater than 0.5 and then 1, then it's still reverse motoring, and then less than 0.5 it will be a forward motoring. So now we are going to run the motor in the forward direction, and let us check how the braking is working or not. So yeah, so the motor is in the continuously it's running. Yes. So now we have to verify INF, just apply. Just apply here. Yes. Just a second. Yeah. Now first we have to apply infinite. Then only we can analyze it. INF infinite loop. Save it. Yeah. So save. Just to save it. Now you can run the simulation. See here it's running. So now let us check So let us check the braking mechanisms. So I'm going to apply. Yeah. See here, I'm going to apply a 0. Yes. See here, the motor has been stopped. Similarly, you have to release the brake. You have to release the brake, and immediately the motor will be in the forward directions. And now, if you change the PWM from 0 to let us take 0.9. Sorry, 0.9. So in that case, the motor will be in the reverse directions. Yeah. So this is called reverse directions. So 1850 RPM. So like that we can achieve forward motoring and then reverse motoring. Similarly, braking mechanism also. Braking mechanism also. See here again, reverse in motor is in the under reverse motoring, and see here I'm going to apply a brake. The motor is approached to the 0. So like that we can implement forward motoring, forward braking, reverse motoring, reverse braking. So it's a very simplest concept. You please develop your own and then practice this example, and keep practice this concept so that you can follow the concept. Thank you. How to calculate the frequency? See, generally you have to define the frequency. You have to choose the frequency. Generally for the choppers, you have to keep the higher frequencies like 1 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz, and all. Please repeat this example and then take all the motoring conditions. Yes, now you can ask any questions. And so the performance of the DC motor is generally for the torque speed curve. For the torque speed curve, generally it will be like this only. It will be like this only. For the DC motor, see here, this is the performance of the motor. So separately excited or say DC shunt motor. So this is a single line. So there is no any range of the performance. So that's why we are calling this is a more perfect motor for the constant speed applications. For the variable speed applications, there is no any there is no any I mean this motor will not suit. Yeah. Why we are not using the capacitor as battery? Yeah, you can use it actually. That is the assignment for you. So you just to change this DC voltage, instead of DC voltage, change the battery and then keep practice and then save, take output, share the output in the comment box. Which block has been used for braking? So please watch the class clearly. I have given the step by step. Please re-watch this video. Mr. Rajendra Sandur, please change the DC voltage to the battery. That is an assignment for you. What about motor starter circuit? See, actually here starting of the motor. So how to configure the voltage? Like how to configure the voltage? Nothing but how much voltage you have to apply for the armature, as well as how much voltage you have to apply for the field. So that is a motor starting mechanisms. Any book suggest for EV MATLAB? Yeah, just engage with the email system. I will share you some books. You cannot apply a AC power to the DC motor. Mr. Vishnu, you cannot apply a AC power to the DC motor. So these are all additional applications of the DC motors. So shunt motor is specially meant for developed for the blowers, fans, centrifugal and then reciprocating pumps, reciprocating pumps and all other things. Yes, and other applications, just to check it. And the biggest advantages is the high torque and then simplest control and then low cost, whereas it needs a more high maintenance cost as well as the poor efficiency. These are all the advantages and the disadvantages of the thing motors. So 1 month internship is available. Batch 2 is going to start from today onwards. If you are interested, you can join there. So use batch 2 EV. Yeah, now you can ask the questions. How sense current shunt register register no shunt resistor method, not a register, motoring speed. See, actually for the measuring the speed you have to use the optical sensors to sense the motor speed. For current measurement you can measure the armature current. Thank you, Mr. Bhima Prasad. Which motor is used in DC type? What type? For the EV applications, PMDC widely used. Sir, can we design this logic consideration as a drive cycle? Is exactly. So you can develop your own drive cycle with this logic. Thank you, Mr. Rajendra. What about series motor? Yeah, you can you can take the same motor and then you can connect the series mechanisms. Because you in this DC machine you have a two different winding, armature winding as well as the field winding. So you can connect accordingly. How to simulate small power autonomous vehicle in MATLAB Simulink for low power motors used? See, actually for that one autonomous toolbox is available. So there you cannot modify motors and all. So there the default motors will be available. Just to pick the motor and then keep in your thing. So but autonomous algorithm you can build with this app. So try to refer the day 2 class. How we can install MATLAB in phone? Uh, in the phone you can use online MATLAB only, not things actually. Can we use compound motor? No, it's not possible to use that compound motor. How width of the pulses is varies. Actually, just to change the logic. See here, if you take a triangular waveform, and if you take triangular waveform, if you compare this waveform, so this is a constant waveform. If you compare one, then you can get a pulse width here. If you change this DC voltage here, then you can move the variable output voltages. Thank you, Tanusha. Kindly suggest a research area in the electric vehicle. So in the electric vehicle, you can implement various motors to improve the vehicle performance while it is in the critical stage. Like near the above the critical speed, you can verify the performance with the fully loaded conditions. And similarly, you can work on the power density. Like you have to design a motor as much as the low with the maximum torque. So these are all the research area in the EV systems. Similarly, the thermal management for the batteries technology as well as the power electronics technology and then motor technology. So these are all the again again in the BMS battery management system and BMS algorithm. So there are a lot of research areas here there. Thank you, Mr. Aditya. Mr. Sairam, it's a very simple logic. Just to repeat the video and then you can get it very easily. Mr. Ganesh, can we get a report for the internship? Actually, in the internship portal, all the PPTs are available. You just download the PPT and then you can make it for your applications. Thank you, Mr. Logan Turai. Thanks for your comment. So you can ask the questions. Power system optimization technique is not available with the Pantech as of now. We have a plan in future. We can share you. Tamari Chelvan, thank you. Anusia, thank you. Ketan, thank you. Thank you very much. Indumati, thank you. Abhinash, thank you. Whale algorithm can we use for research? Yeah, of course. Research are endless. How to calculate the frequency from the PWM? See, actually, you cannot from the PWM. You have to calculate the turn on time as well as the turn off time. Then you can calculate the frequency. I mean frequency. Thank you, Aditya. Shreyas Anand, what is ignoring my question? So repeat the question. Just add on time of the PWM as well as the off time of the PWM to calculate the frequency. Are we using AppArm to compare compare and generate a PWM? Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Sudhir. Lewis Maina. See, actually, attendance form is mandatory to generate a internship certificate. Otherwise, we cannot generate a certificate. Thank you, Disausa. Why are you ignoring my questions? Please repeat the question. What formula for frequency formula? T is equal to 1 by F. If you know the T, then you can get a frequency. Is this possible to convert a DC motor into generator using MATLAB? Yeah, you can develop. Not an issue at all. Thank you, Mr. Kasirajan. What is wiring harness diagram of electric scooter? How and where we can make it? Actually, that is the hiring harness diagram. It's readily available. See, actually, it's a wiring method only. So there is no any logic. It's a type of material. It's readily available in the market. You can directly just take it. I am from mechanical. What subject do I need to study from electronics and electrical program? See, if you want to learn the concept in EV, you should know the power electronics and MATLAB and some thermal management concepts. So these three topics you should know. Vishal Mishra, BLDC with fuzzy. It's not listed in this 30 days. So if you need customized, then we will give you complete support. It's additional charge actually. Yeah, thank you participants. Thanks for your valuable time here. And if you need still more questions, you please submit the Google form which is available on the description box. So please submit it.